move that's sending ripples across the Mediterranean and beyond, Pakistan and Libya have just inked a landmark $4.6 billion defense framework. This isn't just another arms deal. It is a strategic realignment that could fundamentally reshape the power dynamics of North Africa and the wider geopolitical landscape. Today, we're diving deep into what this pact really means, who the key players are behind the scenes, and what the future holds for a region already teetering on the edge. Let's first break down the anatomy of this massive $4.6 billion agreement. The deal, spearheaded by Libya's Chief of General Staff, Mohammed al-Haddad, is designed to arm the Libyan National Army with a formidable array of military hardware. We're talking about the JF-17 Thunder fighter jets, a joint venture between Pakistan and China, known for their advanced avionics and combat capabilities. But it doesn't stop there. The package also includes Al-Khalid main battle tanks, state-of-the-art drones, and a comprehensive suite of air defense systems. This isn't just about buying weapons. It's about a complete modernization of Libya's military forces, a project that signals a clear ambition for greater military autonomy. The deal also includes extensive training programs for Libyan personnel in Pakistan, fostering a deep, long-term military relationship between the two nations. So, who is footing this multi-billion-dollar bill? The financing behind this deal reveals a complex geopolitical web. Reports strongly suggest that the United States, the United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia are the primary sponsors. This might seem counterintuitive at first. Why would these powers back such a significant militarization effort in a country still struggling with internal divisions? The answer lies in the shifting sands of global strategy. For the US, this is a calculated move to counter growing Russian and Chinese influence in Africa. By empowering a pro-Western faction in Libya, Washington aims to secure a strategic foothold in a critical, energy-rich region. For the UAE and Saudi Arabia, supporting this pact is about projecting their own influence and ensuring that a friendly, stable government emerges in Tripoli, one that aligns with their regional interests and counters rivals like Turkey and Qatar, who have historically backed opposing factions in Libya. This leads us directly to the heart of the matter, the ongoing Libyan schism. Since 2011, Libya has been fractured, split between the internationally recognized government in Tripoli and the eastern-based forces led by Khalifa Haftar. This new defense pact is a clear attempt to bolster the Tripoli-based government and give it the military edge it needs to unify the country under its control. The idea is that a well-equipped, professionalized national army could finally overcome the various militias and rival factions, ending a decade of civil war. However, this is a high-stakes gamble. Arming one side so heavily could either force a resolution or, conversely, provoke a massive escalation of the conflict, drawing regional powers even deeper into the fray and turning Libya into a proxy battleground for years to come. The Pakistan-Libya deal also highlights a broader trend: the rise of multipolarity and the weakening of international sanctions. For years, a UN arms embargo was in place to prevent the flow of weapons into Libya. The fact that this deal is proceeding so openly, with the tacit approval of major world powers, shows just how ineffective those sanctions have become. Nations are increasingly pursuing their own strategic interests, often bypassing or ignoring international norms and institutions. This new era of strategic proliferation means that medium powers like Pakistan can now play a much larger role as arms suppliers, creating new alliances and disrupting old ones. The global order is becoming more fragmented, with regional actors taking matters into their own hands. And the Libya Pact is a prime example of this new reality. Naturally, Europe is watching these developments with extreme concern. The stability of Libya is directly linked to European security. An unstable or conflict-ridden Libya means uncontrolled migration flows across the Mediterranean, a surge in trafficking networks, and a potential safe haven for extremist groups right on Europe's doorstep. This new wave of militarization could exacerbate all of these problems. European nations, particularly Italy and France, have invested heavily in diplomatic efforts to stabilize Libya. This defense pact, however, seems to sideline diplomacy in favor of a military solution, a solution that many in Europe fear will only lead to more violence and instability. creating a security nightmare that will spill across its borders. Adding another layer of intrigue is the so-called al-Haddad conspiracy. Mohammed al-Haddad, the architect of this deal, is a controversial figure. Some see him as a patriot, trying to build a strong national army to unify his country. Others, however, accuse him of a power grab. Critics within Tripoli whisper that al-Haddad is using this massive military build-up to consolidate his own power, potentially sideline civilian leadership, and establish a military-dominated state. If these fears are realized, the very government this deal is meant to empower could be weakened from within, leading to a new cycle of internal power struggles and political instability in Tripoli, even as it gains military strength. It's a classic power play scenario that could easily backfire. For Pakistan, this deal is a monumental win, but it comes with its own set of risks. The nation's defense industrial complex has been growing for years, and this $4.6 billion contract is a huge economic lifeline. It promises to create jobs, bring in desperately needed foreign currency, and elevate Pakistan's status as a major player in the global arms market. It's a chance to showcase its military technology on an international stage. However, this is also a strategic gamble. By aligning so closely with the US-Saudi-UAE axis in Libya, Pakistan risks alienating other powers and getting entangled in complex regional conflicts far from its borders. It's walking a fine line between economic opportunity and strategic overreach. The success of this venture could cement its role as a key middle power, but any failure could have serious economic and diplomatic repercussions. So, what does the future hold? We are at a critical crossroads. The best-case scenario is that this military build-up gives the Tripoli government the leverage it needs to negotiate a lasting peace from a position of strength, leading to a unified, stable, and sovereign Libya. The powerful new army could disarm militias, secure the borders, and finally allow the country to rebuild and prosper. But the worst-case scenario is far darker. This massive influx of advanced weaponry could trigger an all-out arms race, plunging Libya into an even more destructive phase of its civil war. It could entrench the country's divisions, empower a new military strongman, and turn North Africa into a powder keg. The dream of a unified Libya could be replaced by the nightmare of unending militarization and conflict. The coming months will be crucial. The world will be watching to see if this multi-billion-dollar bet pays off, or if it ignites a new fire in an already volatile region. The fate of Libya, the security of Europe, and the balance of power in the Mediterranean all hang in the balance. Thank you for watching. If you found this analysis insightful, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into global affairs. Let us know your thoughts on the Pakistan-Libya pact in the comments below.